Boy, Cooks, we got a flair for the dramatic, buddy. Football show brought to you by KG Law. Welcome, one and all. Gather round, everybody. The Bills are going for 2 to win a game as we take the air. Jim, I'd ask how you are, but I know you were sick all weekend. People, you don't ever see Evan Jenkins. Evan is the heartbeat of our show. We couldn't do this without him. Evan is dying. Evan popped on camera for 4 seconds, and I said there'll be no more of that. The entire thing was depressing. The sounds, the look,
it's going around. And if you've got it, it's like you're hit by a bus. So we're doing this. We're live. We're going to make it happen.
And I'm the last man standing, so let's make it happen. We'll go to our 5 big things while the Bills do their one big thing here. We could watch it together. We're going to have a very loose program today. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Have you already seen the 2-point play? I do think there's some rich irony in the Bills using the tush push on what could be the go-ahead score here.
Yeah, big time. I mean, here, I don't care. We're doing it we'll watch it with the people like we did last time. I mean, I got the iPad over here. I got the phone over here. And see you later. Eagles win. Unless there's a ref show.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that play at all. Okay.
But then there's the world you and I live in where I'm laying 2.5 points, so it does me no good. Anyway, move on.
Okay, hold on. Let's start with positive. I want to start with a positive because
let's start with a positive.
First of all, I had a wonderful holiday. I hope everybody did. And I wasn't in a bad mood before the 4 p.m. window where America's standalone game of the week, Giants and Raiders. I'll get to it. But I want to just say from a representative standpoint, we hit the Christmas Day teaser for the people. And today, you finally, I think it was 12 to 1 or 13 to 1, you hit the cookie dough parlay.
Yeah.
So I know, I'm not saying it makes up for you being in a fetal position all weekend, but some positives there. Okay, some positives.
I thought you were going to go with the positive, which is we saw a lot of fight from the New York Football Giants today in a critical spot, Week 17.
I mean, what do you even want me to say? I put this as one of our 5 big things, America's real game of the week. If the Giants had lost this game, you're guaranteed the number 1 pick. The Raiders now have the inside track for it. You called it Tankapalooza. I said you could see the suck from all corners of the galaxy. The Raiders shut down Max Crosby. He got so pissed off, he left the building. Then he's playing basketball at home to show people he's healthy. But guess what? The Raiders did it right, and the Giants did it wrong. Why were the Giants playing Dexter Lawrence? Why were you playing Brian Burns? Why'd you play Jackson Dart and run him 50 times?
Oh, Mike, heart of the champion. He's going to the end zone. He's not going to slide. He's playing to win.
Oh, so let me just explain what it cost you. It cost you 2 starters. And what I mean by that is the Giants were never using the number 1 overall pick. That pick would have been traded up for by the next 4-5 teams. That gives you at minimum their first, their second, and next year's 1. That's 2 additional starters on rookie scale. You just threw that in the garbage because you're unserious assholes. So
because Deonte Banks hasn't quit, baby. Special teams touchdown.
Okay,
Mike, can I just give you a stat that was sent over to me? Because people want your live reaction to this stat.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Giants over the last 3 seasons are 9-36 in weeks 1 through 16. They're now 3-2 in weeks 17 and 18.
I want to strangle myself. Is it humanly possible to just strangle myself, like live on camera? Like, is there like a human reflex where I could just punch myself in the face?
Like, if you're going to be this bad, just be bad to the finish line.
I know. And dude, Deonte Banks is the ultimate irony. That shithead hasn't done a damn thing in his whole career. He's been one of the worst first-round picks in Giants history, and this asshole returns a kick today. The Giants are they're trash. They're a trash, and it goes to ownership. Steve Tisch and John Mara are 2 feckless losers. I don't care if they're nice fucking men. I don't give a shit. They're not serious. If I own the team, I'm walking in with a paintball gun. And I'm telling you, you're not playing any of these guys. Any of them. You put a lineup out there that's incapable of winning, i.e. what the Raiders did today. Whatever. So, yeah, Giants fucked themselves out of the number 1 pick. Congratulations. I hate life. Number 2, you have a great one here, and I know they played the other day, and we're going to do a little bit more storyline stuff because a lot of these games are atrocious. King Henry, you have a question you'd like to ask.
Yeah, look, he comes off a 200-yard, 4-touchdown day. It's Baltimore finally remembered they've got this huge red zone machine. Mike, where does he rank all time?
I tinkered with it before I jumped into the sheet. I say top 5 because I'm not trying to insult the old heads out there, but like I don't have to respect Gale Sayers. Okay. If you played in black and white, you played a different sport. It's just not the same thing. I struggle with some of the guys from the 80s, but I'm willing to listen about Walter Payton or Eric Dickerson. Jim Brown, maybe if, again, I have a hard time respecting it. Sorry. It was a different time, different sport. Derrick Henry is top 5 all time. The only guy I'd have absolutely 100%, no questions asked ahead of him would still be Barry Sanders because Barry's the GOAT. Although I could do without Barry being interviewed during the Lions game in an undecorated hallway and not knowing what planet he's on. That was brutal. Come on, Netflix.
Penei Sewell's injured and we can't get an update because I don't even think Barry's watching the game. He's just answering questions.
Jim, he was in the hallway of a public library.
I don't know. Mike, they did it all day. They did it with Emmitt Smith earlier in the day. They did it. We didn't need it. Anyway. On the running back question, yes. Derrick Henry, 4th most rushing touchdowns ever. He's top 10 in rushing yards. He's still playing. And if you want to go yards per carry, only Jim Brown and Barry Sanders have a higher yards per carry of any running back in the 10,000 rushing yards club. I think you can put him top 5. I do.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it'd be Barry, it'd be Adrian Peterson, it would be Derrick Henry. Those are my top 3. I've never respected Emmitt Smith because Emmitt had the best offensive line in history, and I think he's a drama queen, and I'm a Giants fan, so I hate Emmitt Smith. My rules.
Think about this, too, for Henry. He's 31. He's still putting together a 1,500-yard season.
Stop fumbling.
And he doesn't fumble. He has not had a big injury. And at 31, he's built a couple more seasons, keep rising up the leaderboard.
Stop fumbling, though. He's going through his Tiki Barber phase right now. Stop fumbling. High and tight. All right, let's go. Number 3. This is for you. This bud is for you, buddy, because this is one of your guys.
No, he wasn't.
You liked him. You just didn't like him the way other people did.
No. So people understand locally there was this Malik Willis fever, and I never supported him as a first-round pick.
You were like 3rd or 4th round.
But, Mike, he's playing in like a starting quarterback in the NFL, and he's going to get a shot somewhere next year, is he not?
Yes, and we want to play the Malik Willis landing spot theater because he's played his way. I tried to source it, and it's really hard because you're trying to pin down a price on a hypothetical future market. Everything I can come up with is somewhere between $15 and $18 million a year. So for the sake of our discussion, Jim, what if we said 2, 3? You could do 3 at 50 for Malik Willis, 3 at 50. Okay. So where is his landing spot? And you've got some options, and you've drawn a strike through one I added here, which is hurt.
Yeah, your trolling response that we'll end with. But let me give you 5, and they're going to go from 5 to 1 best landing spots for Malik Willis. You're right. Yeah. He's played well enough to earn a shot as a starter. My number 5 spot, Arizona. If they're moving on from Kyler, Jacoby Brissett's 33 years old. They're not picking in the top 5. Malik Willis for Arizona. Thoughts?
Yeah, table setter. I don't have a huge issue with it. You're going to name a bunch of these. I don't have a problem with it.
Number 4, Miami. Are you moving on from Tua? Again, you don't have a top 10 pick. You don't have a top 5 pick, top 10 pick. That's your transition QB that could pop.
I'll say no just because they can't get rid of Tua. Look at the financials on the deal. I don't know how they do it.
A Russell Wilson where you just dump the money.
Oh, okay. Then I would say yes. Yeah, but the next one is the one. Okay. The next one, I'd be on the phone now signing an illegal Kevin McHale, Joe Smith contract. I would be signing Malik Willis today if I'm this team.
Number 3, the Colts.
Yes.
You got Daniel Jones off at Achilles. It's a place where you've already proven you can elevate a quarterback, and he's shown a skill set that's well-rounded.
Everything is there. They just need a QB. I like that Malik's got some wheels. I like that he has shown he's adaptable to game planning. And look, Jim, it's always going to be about the running game in Indianapolis. The minute they lost the quarterback, the running game can't function.
Yeah.
If I'm Indianapolis, that's the only way out. I don't have a first-round pick. I'm not going to have huge dollars to invest in it. I don't think you can afford Mac Jones because he'll be about 30 a year. Yes, Indianapolis, Malik Willis.
Okay, number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers. As a maybe playoff team, they don't have a path to a quarterback. Their quarterback right now is in his 40s, Malik Willis to Pittsburgh.
I'll begrudgingly say yes, but I'm tired of Pittsburgh doing this. But
I know.
yes, it's like the most Steeler thing ever. Yes.
Number 1, Minnesota.
No.
The Vikings have shown the ability to elevate quarterbacks. J.J. McCarthy has missed 24 of his first 33 games. He's got more picks than touchdowns. The better bet is Malik Willis.
I'm gonna manifest this. Mac Jones and Kevin O'Connell belong together, like in a motorcycle with a sidecar.
You could have said Mac Jones to any of these places too.
No, but I'm saying with O'Connell, I could see Mac Jones being really good. And I want that for storylines. Let's go to our 4. Oh, and by the way, the last one I put on here was Detroit, and the note I left was supplants Goff by week 6 in a Costa fever dream. No?
They've made their commitment to Jared Goff.
We'll get more on those guys later. I had a question about the Texans because, again, C.J. Stroud looked phenomenal against Chargers, and the defense is the defense. Jim, I'm getting some 07 Giants vibes from this team. A team that's going to have to go on the road, a team that's probably not going to win their division, but that defense and timely quarterback play, am I nuts to think the Texans could make a run at this? I mean, Buffalo is not any kind of towering champ. We talk about the division winners, whether it's Pittsburgh or Baltimore. I'm not picking them against Texans. Jacksonville against the Texans, chips down in the playoff game.
Yep.
Texans. Like, keep going. New England, I just keep saying it. They're 2018 Tennessee. They're not ready yet. Am I crazy for comping the Texans out?
No. I think people should understand you hold a special place in your heart for teams like that. You watch the team do this. You don't say it lightly.
No.
This is a huge compliment. They've got a front four that wins consistently without blitzing. Same deal as those Giants back in 2007. Specifically, multiple game wreckers. You can win at the line of scrimmage. And Stroud is playing the role of Eli in this scenario?
Yeah, except way more talented. But yes. Okay. I think he's starting to play better. And here's the thing you start to see this time of year. If you don't have a good defensive front, you're not winning games.
Correct.
Like, you can fake it in September and October, but it's like winning baseball games in September. If you don't have pitching, if you don't have a bullpen, you are not going to win games. You're seeing these fronts dominate games. And look, it's part of the reason why the Lions are home. So I wonder if they could ride this thing in an AFC that looks way more wide open. There is no Mahomes. There might be no Lamar. We talk about how flawed Allen and the Bills are. Go ahead.
Well, it just reminds me, I think you and I appreciate the same kind of defense where if you can win with 4, you don't have to blitz, you can drop extra guys in coverage. That's the only way to beat the elite quarterbacks week over week. Just to give you an idea of some of those teams who the profile is, low blitz rate but good defense, it's Rams, Eagles, Texans, Packers before the Parsons injury. Like, those are the type of teams you think can go on runs.
Yeah, but if you gave me Rams and Texans and I said, okay, I'll take those two, you take the field, I think I have the Super Bowl champ. And it's a great step by you. The fifth one, you may be coming to my side on something. I was shocked. Oh, I almost had like an arrhythmia. Like, my heart skipped a beat here. Wait a second. I read a note from Jim, who's like the more is better guy. The 7th playoff spot might have been a mistake. Wait a minute, Mr. CFP. What do you mean, more's not better? No, it's not better. But go ahead. Let me hear this.
An observation. I think for the second year in a row now, the wild cards are decided before the final weekend of the regular season. We have a couple divisional spots that aren't, but if you had just kept this thing at 6 playoff teams, you could have had those divisional games this week, and we wouldn't have had a meaningless week of football upcoming.
Well, I have bad news for you is watch when they go to an 18-game schedule, they're going to go to 8 teams a conference. And here's the other thing. Did you see with this run of holiday football, all the different networks or streaming apparatuses you needed to watch football?
Yeah, Peacock Saturday night, Netflix on Christmas Day, the whole day, Prime Christmas night.
ESPN. I mean, look, Jim, it's only going to get worse, man. More is not better because more doesn't take into account the long-term health of the game and of fan interest. All it takes into account is, hey, someone's willing to pay me $100 zillion to broadcast the game. But no, I'm with you. I didn't need the extra wild card. And in fact, look, I think another change that needs to be made is division winners should not get priority. Meaning, Okay, if you win your division, we'll put you in.
You're in.
But your record then matters, meaning you won't get a home game if you're Tampa or Carolina. I can't do that anymore. It's the same thing for Steelers and Ravens. You don't deserve a home game.
And look, clearly there's some seeding that'll be on the line this final week. But seriously, guys, the wild cards are all locked up. What are we playing another week for?
Now, for you and I to make some fun lists and give out some awards next week, I don't know.
But one way or another, if you had kept it at 6 teams, fine. Then there's way more on the line this last week. But if you want to do 7 teams, then we don't need to be playing an extra football game. These guys are going through a gauntlet. Just roll it into the playoffs.
I agree with you. But again, greed rules the day, pal. Can't wait for that 32-team college football playoff. You let me know how that goes. We're going to get to the rundown. We'll get a word from the sponsors. We got a lot of Lions discussion. If you guys have joined us, obviously Jim and I did not work Friday. Happy to deliver some content because that's going to be the next 9 months. Let's get a word from KG Law, and we'll run through the games.
All right, tell you about KG Law. Someone you care about's injured in a car accident, you need KG Law. Lawrence KG and KG Law specialize in car accidents. You're going to get that personal attention to detail from someone who cares about you. Let me tell you about Lawrence KG. He's a Detroiter. He's a down-to-earth dude, and he's someone you want in your corner. He built his business doing things the right way and delivering for his clients. KG Law's won millions of dollars, 98% success rate. Check him out, 877-KG-CARES. It's right there on the screen, KAJY, KGCares.com.
All right, rundown brought to you by Hungry Howie's Pizza, Eagles, Bills. It just wrapped. Let's do this each way. For the Bills, it always comes back to this for me. Now, look, they got in a position to tie the game. They decided to go for 2. I don't have a big problem with it because they're going to make it, but they're not going to win the division. Fair? So you went for 2. You were worn out. Eagles are up 13-0. The problem with the Bills is this. When push comes to shove, they still don't have a number 1 wide receiver who you can depend on. And I'm sorry, they just can't get the stop they need when they need it. They can look good for a while, but then when they need it, they don't have it. And with the Eagles, this is Eagles playoff mode. People just have to accept that they're not going to win pretty. But would they have another half dozen sacks today? Jalen Carter, nice getting a couple shoulder surgeries midseason. He was a destroyer today. And when the penultimate moment happens, that defense is going to rise up and get a stop. Pressure on the last play, inaccurate throw, pack our shit, get out of here with a W.
You want to talk about ugly? They didn't even have 200 yards offense.
That's gross. But it's not going to get fixed. This is what it is.
No, it's why people have doubts about whether they can win the Super Bowl. But the non-negotiable is they're going to win the line of scrimmage, and that's going to give them a chance the way it did a year ago. Mike, I mean, I'll test balloon this with you. I'm going to bring it up tomorrow morning. I think the Super Bowl's coming out of the NFC.
Yeah, I still think it's the Rams, but I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, but I'm saying if it's not the Rams, like I don't love anybody in the AFC. I just watched the Eagles go into Buffalo and win, albeit ugly. You tell me. I like the NFC roster way more than the AFC roster right now.
I can't let go of the Texans. I just can't. But I'm not going to argue. I still think the Rams are number 1, and it's not. I don't think it's close.
But then let me go down the list even more. We'll lead into San Francisco tonight and Chicago tonight, but I think those teams are more dangerous than your run-of-the-mill AFC teams. Seattle, haven't even mentioned them at 13 wins, right?
No. We're not doing that. No. Sam Darnold, no. Jim, no.
Okay, but again, you got to go through the AFC versus the NFC.
I just
the 5th or 6th best NFC team is stronger than the 5th or 6th best AFC team. I'm not putting Seattle at the top, but as we go down the list,
okay, all right. Maybe I'll give them a vote over like the Chargers.
Right.
All right. So Seattle, let's talk about it. And look, they win 27-10. I'm tired of the Panthers bullshit. 54 yards passing for the pocket-sized game manager. But here's what I want to do. I want to turn you into David Tepper. You're the owner of the team. I want you to do the most impossible thing. This could be one of the storylines of the offseason. I need you to make the 2026 call on Bryce Young. What do? You can't pay him $200 million. But if they make the playoffs, you're getting rid of him. What are you doing?
He's not in a contract year, is he?
No, but he's eligible for that extension, and he's entering year 4 and picking up the option. And it just
so people understand, how many yards did he throw for today?
54.
Right.
Which matches his height of 5'4".
Oh, okay then.
But Jim, I need you to
I'm not making a long-term commitment to Bryce Young.
Okay, so we're just going to pick up the 5th year. We'll pay him the $20 million. We're going to try. You're willing to try this again next year with him.
Mike, it's what we talked about a little earlier. They don't have a path as a team with a top 5 or a top 10 pick to a franchise quarterback, right?
Could get in that Mac Jones sweepstakes. Trust Dave Canales to fix it. I just had to ask. And look, I know he's a walking contradiction because then it's like, oh, he's got more game-winning drives than anybody the last couple of years. Then on the other side, he throws for less yards than Tommy Frazier in 1997. I can't do it personally. No. I mean, he's a nice kid. By every interview I see, you go, this is a very likable young man, but I don't want to play quarterback for me. They have a hell of a decision to make. But they won 20, again, Seattle is just better. Dolphins, Bucks. I want you to read your initial note because it just describes everything for me.
Yeah, it's going to make me a big Panthers fan next week because I don't want the Bucks on my TV anymore. Correct. I said, get them off my TV immediately. They've lost 7 of their last 8 games. I don't need this. Please, please, please. Can we be done with the Buccaneers?
Is it mad that I want to hit Todd Bowles with a shovel? Put a mirror under his nose. Are you breathing?
Mike, in the month of December, the Bucks have lost to the Saints, Falcons, Panthers, and Dolphins.
God. Oh, and by the way, you let Liam Cohen and Dave Canales walk out of your building to keep that blank pile of garbage. Todd Bowles done. He's gone. Yeah. And the 2 best candidates to replace him were the guys who launched Baker's career.
And Baker today, he has no run game. He has 3 turnovers. He's running for his life.
Dolphins are also a contradiction. No idea what the hell they're doing, but shout out Quinn Ewers. You won a football game. This is the one that had to drive you nuts. Nuts. Browns 13, Steelers 6. What happened to the greatest show on turf that left Detroit in ruins? Put up 500 yards, 230 on the ground, 6 points, Jim? A whopping 3 of 18 on 3rd and 4th downs. And the Browns win. Huh?
Yep.
Are you okay? That had to be a lot for you to do.
Yeah, because it's so annoying. Like this team, that's who the Steelers have been all year, by the way.
Yeah.
DK, no DK. That's who they've been all year. No explosives, pitter-patter, plodding, slow offense. And against my team, sure, 500 yards. Whee! No big deal. Say
more about Steelers or Lions?
Well, it says more about the Lions because this is who the Steelers are.
Okay. All right. I just had to ask. It just shows you how bad your defense is.
No, how about this? This is what happens. Tomlin got his 9th win, so now they're done trying for the year. That's how that works.
All right, next week, right now, no point spread. Who's winning? Baltimore or Pittsburgh? In Pittsburgh. Where's all the marbles?
Okay, here's the thing. Lamar can't beat the Steelers.
How do you know?
Now is the answer Derrick Henry? Do they finally realize, we've got this cheat code in the red zone? Because
I'll tell you the answer. I'll tell you the answer. The guy who went 16-20 against the Pack and played a professional version of quarterback. I would just play Huntley. I just would.
I just play Derrick Henry at Wildcat. I mean, Mike, I don't, Mike. That their answer is we can't have Lamar try to be a superhero against TJ Watt and company, assuming he's back and rolling. Like, no, I don't know what to tell you. I'd probably take the Steelers, but at the same time, like Mike Tomlin teams check out at about 9 wins these days.
You're going to know what to do by who's favored. That's the key.
Okay.
You're going to know exactly what to do by who's favored. We'll get to it on the pod. Patriots 42, Jets 10. Do you know Drake May's middle name?
No.
Jesus. Drake May is Jesus. 2 incompletions, 5 touchdowns, no picks, and he went and got a spray tan in the 3rd quarter. Like, are you kidding me? 5 touchdowns, 258, 2 incompletions. Coach, I'm good. I'm going to go grab a cocktail. Here's my question to you.
Mike, there are coaches who won't have that day 7-on-7 with their quarterback.
No. I heard a blurb today, and I didn't get a chance to double confirm it, but I was trying to sort through Scott Hansen's word vomit. Yeah. He was the first quarterback in the history of football to complete 90% of his passes for 250 with 4 touchdowns and a half. Does that sound right to you?
Sure. Again, he was facing air.
So here's my question. If you're starting a team today, and I'll include this year's draft class as well, how long is the list of QBs you would take ahead of Drake May to start your franchise today?
4 or 5, maybe.
Who? I just want to hear the names, just so I know. Josh Allen, one of them?
Allen, Mahomes, Burrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, the Burrow one surprised me. Mahomes off a blown ACL. All right. Okay. Drake May number 1.
It's not many more, to your point.
Drake May. He's just the best. I love the kid. Saints 34, Titans 26. The Saints have won 4 straight, so here we go. Jim, I'm going to make you the owner now, minus the bank account.
I'm just going to answer right now. I'm not keeping Tyler Shuck to the degree. Like, he could be on the roster, but I'm not, like, going to turn down a long-term franchise quarterback because of Tyler Shuck.
All right, so here's my question. How far down the quarterback power rank that they've knocked themselves by winning 4 in a row? Like, does it hit a point where you go Shuck versus 4th best QB, 5th best QB?
So where are they picking right now? Because they've done some damage. I think they're just
they've won 4 games in a row.
I think they're still top 10, but right at the edge, the top 10.
So if you're taking the 4th or 5th best rookie, or a kid who clearly picked up the playbook and Kellen Moore trusts, what do you do? You know my answer.
I don't know if they're going to have to settle for the 4th QB at 10, although, I mean, we'll see how much hype these guys pick up between now and draft season. But, like, I'd rather have Dante Moore than Tyler.
Dante Moore is not going to be there at 10. If Dante comes out, I think him and Mendoza are in the running for 1, too.
Okay. What about, do you think Simpson goes? He had a rough ending.
Depends what happens, I think, a little bit in the playoff. And also, too, like, what's going on with his back? His completion rate's kind of going down a little bit. Yeah. But, I think if Simpson comes out, he's got a lot of good tape, pro-style offense. He'll go in the top 10. Like, the guys that fell off are the Nussmeyers and the Lenore Sellers of the world, stuff like that. But it's a fascinating thing with that team. Jags Colts, the one thing I would tell you, Cohen came out and basically everybody was you and Evan. He basically said my whole team was sick. Guys had to fight like hell to get on the field. We had a number of guys who couldn't go. And they won a road divisional game against a Colts team that hasn't quit, and Phillip Rivers is a red ass. But look, bottom line, it's a win. It's a game the Jags normally would lose, falling down 10-0, and they didn't. They battled back. So I'll give them credit there. But you've got something right here, man. It's like the minute we had the Jonathan Taylor MVP conversation, Daniel Jones died, and so did Jonathan Taylor. Give him the stats.
Jonathan Taylor, before the team went to Germany, had 6 100-yard rushing games, and many of them well over 100 yards.
Yeah.
Post Berlin, he has 0 100-yard games. He's averaging 3.5 yards a carry. It's 16 carries for 58 yards. Today, it's 21 for 70. They're just 16 for 46. Really inefficient, high volume, but really no payoff rushing games. And it's every single week.
No QB, no chance. Bengals, Cardinals. Bengals win 1,000,000-14. Okay, great. It's a Joe Burrow mood enhancer. Here's just one thing I want to throw your way. Reading the tea leaves a little bit. I call the shot. Joe Burrow is going to get Zach Taylor fired, and he's going to demand they hire Joe Brady. You like that?
I'm a little mad I didn't come up with it first. Because we've done a lot of talk about Joe Brady with those college jobs when they opened up. And it's but Joe Brady, he might get an NFL job.
His coordinator at LSU, him and Zach Taylor do not get along. He screamed at the guy 1,000,000 times. And you know what? They're going to do whatever Burrow wants, because the other option is I demand to be traded. I'm telling you.
By it, man. Jefferson, Burrow, Brady, we've seen it work.
Get the word from the sponsors, and then we get emotional. It's Jim on Lions next.
All right, listen. You're busy. You got a lot of things going on. Lord knows you're going to be cooking a lot for the holidays. Lean on Hungry Howie's to get you dinner on the table in 30 minutes. No cleanup, no cooking, and take advantage of their mix and match deal. You go, well, what the hell's a mix and match? It's very simple. It's everything on the menu, $7.49 each. You pair them all up to make a meal deal. And as I said, you get dinner on the table. I mean, it's snowing every day. It's 10 degrees out. You don't want to go to the grocery store. Opt out like most players do in bowl games and call Hungry Howie's, or go to hungryhowies.com and take advantage of that mix and match deal, $7.49 each. Whether it's the salads, the baked subs, the pizzas, Howie bread, you name it, it's involved in the mix and match deal. $7.49 each, limited time only at hungryhowies.com.
Okay, buddy. Moran Chevrolet bringing us the Lions. You start. There's so much to discuss. No way we're doing it in 10 minutes, but go ahead.
Yeah, we'll just start with the Vikings game, and then we'll zoom out, because I know we both have thoughts on the future and the window and where they go in the offseason. Yeah. But just a new low, right? Remember when they lost to J.J. McCarthy, and it was like, wow, this is pathetic.
Yeah.
They lost to Max Brosmer, and the Vikings threw for 3 passing yards as a team.
Can I offer you something?
Yeah.
That's the worst loss in Lions history. On merit. You lost to a guy who will be selling paint next year, who threw for 3 fucking yards, and you turned the ball over 700 times. Jim, that is as bad of a loss from a visual, from a who you were facing, from a what was on the line. That is as horseshit as it gets. Fair?
Yeah, I'm not going to fight you on that.
So here's
and it was every issue from the season all coming together for one big party on Christmas Day. Oh, you can't protect your quarterback all year. All right, well, it's going to get ugly then, right? You can't run the ball, and you're going to get gashed big plays on the ground. I mean, it was everything had come to play in the culmination of a disastrous season.
But this is where people have to look, no one had an issue with John Morton getting demoted. I was fine with Dan Campbell. I said it gives you your best chance. Now, then we begin evaluating Dan Campbell as a play caller, right?
Yeah.
Not a play caller. Because the problem is, you know what Flores is going to do, and they showed you the tape. You've got years of tape. You know what Flores did? The same damn thing.
0 blitzes, mugged up linebackers and safeties, overloads.
And the Lions never ran some quick slants. They never installed a screen package. They never had answers. Dan, in that sense, I knew they were fucked when he came out of halftime and he did his whole little routine. Oh, no, we just got to pop some big runs in the run game. I'm going, pop some big run. Your offensive line fucking stinks.
But Mike, that's the key. Their offensive line just isn't good enough. Like, from a points per game standpoint, explosive standpoint, they were one of the best offenses in football, but you can't hide big games, run game, short yardage.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson could still be here. With this offensive line, they weren't going to go as far as you thought they would.
No. That, no doubt. I'm just saying you have to hire an offensive coordinator because Dan needs to go back to being the CEO, the leader of that 53 men in the room. I think they lost their way this year. You know, I've been yapping about it for 6-7 weeks. The arrogance, the delusion, the entitlement. And I'm sorry. They have to deconstruct this offseason from an attitude standpoint and regain who the fuck they are.
They fell in love with their own.
Yep. The thing they said they wouldn't do.
That is, I think, the most obvious takeaways. They fell in love with their own. You lose Ragnow, Zeitler doesn't come back. You're just going to replace with Glasgow and rookies and unproven people because they're the Lions and we develop and there's grit and tenacity. The D-line, we're good. We've got our guys. We believe in our guys. Mike, both coordinator decisions were guys who had been here previously. Shepard, a promotion. Morton had been here earlier in camp. They fell in love with their own. They didn't need big external additions. They had all they needed in-house. And the answer was, you didn't have enough. You did need to look outside. You did need to take a few more chances. And this offseason, that is the number one goal, is external help.
You want an idea? Let me give you an idea. I was workshopping. You know who doesn't have a contract for next year? Defensive coordinator. And this is not about, I don't want to make this a referendum on Kelvin Shepard. I don't have a bad thing to say about Kelvin Shepard. The guy did the best he could. He was a first-year coordinator, and you lost some players. I'm just making a point. If I get a chance to hire a Super Bowl caliber guy, do you know who does not have a contract next year? And you could hurt the team by taking him and help yourself. Brian Flores.
Yeah, the way you were leading into that. Okay.
He doesn't have a contract next year. And unlike some other teams like the Giants, the Dolphins, who he sued, and I know legally you can't, I'm not going to interview you. You sued me. You can't do that legally. I'm just making a point. It would make for an awkward dinner. Why not make Flores the highest paid defensive coordinator in football and take him from Minnesota and put him here?
Well, it's funny because this is where I wanted to go with this. I like Kelvin Shepard, the person, but this is the Eagles made coordinator changes 1 year, step back, brand new coordinators the very next year, won the Super Bowl. And it's the proven commodity. It's the failed head coach to elite DC pipeline. And there's a ton of examples: Spagnuolo, Fangio, Flores, Schwartz. You go down the list. It's these fired head coaches who end up making really good DCs. I'll give you another name. If it doesn't work in Tampa, you could laugh at it. Failed head coach, Todd Bowles.
No.
High blitz, high pressure. It fits all the criteria.
No, please, I beg you.
Yeah, no, he's good DC, Mike.
Please don't do that.
No, you got to stop doing it because, like, I'll give you another example. Dennis Allen, bad head coach, hell of a DC for Chicago this year.
Can I just do ABB? Anyone but Bowles. I'll go along with anybody. You could hire Toons as the driving cat. I can't. No doubt.
But if you're gonna do Calvin's a friend of mine, he's a good guy, I don't care that his defense gives up 500 yards a game, then you're gonna repeat the mistakes of this year.
And again, the offensive coordinator thing, I don't have some hot board. It was just the Flores thing. He doesn't have a contract. He's whooped your ass. It kind of is interesting. It hurts a divisional team. It would give you a new approach defensively.
It's an identity.
But look, I think we can leave this to me here. This has to be an uncomfortable offseason. This roster, I don't think fans recognize how different the roster is going to look. Like, I give you a start right here. David Montgomery's played his last down as a line. He's doing. Ali McNeil, you probably got to trade him pennies on the dollar. Why? You could save $24 million. The Goff thing, that's a different conversation we're never going to be able to get done here, which is, okay, his cap number goes from 32 to 69, but if you restructure him, you are married to him for probably 4 years. Now, here's my problem. I've stuck up for Goff, but this is now 2 years in a row. He's had some of the yips. He's given me a Sam Darnold to finish the year. How many more of those am I going to look at? So it's like, okay, do I use next year as a retool year? What the Niners did last year. We're going to retool. We're not rebuilding. And we could still make the playoffs while retooling. But okay, now you're shaking your head.
I know we only have so many minutes, but let me just put it to you this way. The Lions have a lot of work to do. You and I will 100% agree that this is a harsh realities offseason. They're going to go into next year with a fourth place schedule, right? There is no elite long-term juggernaut in the NFL. The cap goes up. They're going to have to be more aggressive with that space. If you don't restructure Goff's deal, you're going to get squeezed on the cap. You have to restructure it, and you have to restructure to get pieces up front on the offensive line. They're in the Goff business, whether they want to be or not, for the next 2 years minimum. The only shot you have to win is restructuring and putting bodies up front in front of them.
And let me be clear. I'm not trying to do this whole throw them in the garbage deal. I'm saying maybe I got to take a beat, because here's the problem. The way I would say retooling is you have to rebuild both lines of scrimmage. Your D-line's not any good. Lion fans have this delusion this D-line is good. It's not. And second of all, the O-line, I think a lot of our conversation will hinge upon, is Taylor Decker back or does he retire? Because if now I got to find a left tackle, okay, fine, Sewell over to the left side. Fine. You have to rebuild both lines of scrimmage. I don't know that that's a one-year thing. But, Jim, I hear you. No, but my whole point, this is why I begged them to go all in the last 2 years, because these windows don't stay open.
Right. But if your thought is I'm going to have to take next year as a mulligan year because I can't fix all the trenches.
I didn't say a mulligan. I just said a retool.
My point is the retooling happens now. You're already a year late on it. You restructure Goff. Okay. You had a couple big uglies on both sides of the trenches. You hire a DC and maybe an OC and a DC.
Yeah,
and
two coordinators, rebuild both lines of scrimmage, and pray your quarterback can be insulated enough to be the guy that people change his name at barbershops.
But that goes hand in hand. If I'm not going to insulate my quarterback, if I'm not going to spend on both trenches, I don't have a chance.
Here's the other problem, and then we'll let it go. Because you and I are going to be doing this the next 6 months. Brad Holmes has shown no ability to be real good in free agency. So that's a bit of an issue too. So look, there's a lot to unpack.
But if that's not going to change, then all this is moot. Like if their takeaway from this year is run it back with our guys, then there's no conversation to be had. They didn't learn.
Why you're in a fashionable turquoise Henley tonight? Good for you.
Thank
All
you.
right, let's Evan give him a word from Moran, and we'll get to the C4 question of the week. All right, let's get a word from Moran. We'll keep it moving, and that is the Red Tag Sales event going on right now at Moran Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 selling Chevy dealer. Whether it's elevating your tailgate, unless you're a Spartan fan, you've just given up, or whether it's just hauling gear, they got you covered. 26 Silverado 4x4 crew cab. You can lease it, $199 a month, zero due at signing. Silverado's perfect for hauling the big stuff. You need something a little more svelte, if you will. The Equinox LT, $199 a month with just $19.99 down. Moran, go to Moran Express. All your certified service, you get the free loaner as well, or stop by on Gratiot, just north of 15 Mile in Clinton Township. Moran Chevrolet, where you always get the best price period. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. All right, let's do it. C4 question of the week brought to you by C4 Energy and their 3 new ultimate flavors. Brendan writes in from Lapeer. Should Brad Holmes start considering a new quarterback for Detroit? How many good years does Goff have left? This is almost like Jim Costa 2022. What do you want to do with this? Because I could offer you a wild something I'm thinking. It doesn't mean I'm saying do it. It doesn't mean I'm pounding the table. But I'm going to offer something.
I want you to offer it, but let me just first say this. I was draft and stash circa whatever year you said. This was pre-NFC title game.
You were early.
Because I saw some limitations with Jared Goff, and I butt heads with a lot of Lions fans over it. But then they won multiple playoff games. They went to an NFC title. He played well enough in that NFC title to go to a Super Bowl. And I said, you know what? Fine. I'll buy into this guy, but you got to buy in and support him with a strong offensive line.
So what if you took a lesson?
Yeah.
From the team that has essentially owned the North for 20 years, 25 years.
Okay.
Do what the Packers did. You draft a quarterback in the first round this year, and you sit behind Jared Goff for a year or two. You do the Aaron Rodgers game plan. Jim, I don't, or you do the Jordan Love game plan that they did to Aaron Rodgers.
So, but the danger is you light your present on fire.
Jim, there is no present.
To better your future. Well, okay, but
the present, here's your present right now. The present
is you attack the offseason and you go back to war next year. You don't say, I got to throw away multiple years now because it didn't work out.
What if I told you the Lions might wake up tomorrow and be the worst team in the NFC North? Because that's realistic. They could wake up as the worst, and I say worst. They're still a good team, guys.
They're fourth. You're not making this up. They're in fourth place.
No, so I'm making a point that, like, if the present is we can compete maybe to make the playoffs, but we're just not Super Bowl ready. We're just not there. The window closed. We got to open a new window.
Mike, the Niners were dead last in their division last year. They're playing for the 1 seed in Week 17 this year
because they retooled last year.
Yeah, so do the 1 year retool with the same QB they have on a deal you didn't like, by the way.
I don't.
I know, but just to tie a bow on what we were talking about before, and it applies here. If you're not going to restructure Goff, you're going to let his bloated cap sit on the books this year and next year. You aren't going to have the resources to win with him. It's a catch-22. Yeah. You have to, begrudgingly, you're in the Goff business, restructure his deal, put more in front of him up front on the offensive line. It's your best path forward, which to me means you're not considering a quarterback anytime soon.
I'll just tell you this. If I never hear let Brad cook again, it'll be too soon. Thank God we can put that lazy bullshit to bed. Let Brad cook. Yeah, well, he cooked. There it is. It's burnt.
To your point, real off season ahead.
Yeah, believe it when I see it. All right.
Coordinators, trenches, external additions, harsh realities. It's necessary now.
Evan, hit him with the C4. We'll talk Sunday Night Football.
If you have a question for us, get to a participating 7-Eleven and look for the QR code at the C4 Energy display or on the cooler. Scan the QR code and ask the question for a list of participating 7-Eleven. Find the list and contest details at 971theticket.com. C4 Energy is the energy drink you need. 200 milligrams of good caffeine in the performance or 300 in the ultimate energy. And C4, it's not your traditional energy drink. It's next level, sugar-free, made for athletes. They don't fill it with junk. And C4 just rolled out their Jim Costa approved Jolly Rancher flavors, and they study everything. And a bunch of things I can't pronounce are in it, but it's all good. C4 Performance Energy or the Ultimate Energy at 7-Eleven. And remember, if you got a question, get to a 7-Eleven, find the QR code at the C4 Energy display today.
All right, Sunday Night Football brought to you by Crocodile Cloth. Niners laying 3.5. They welcome in the Bears. Noah Dunze again. Not that they even throw him the damn ball. DJ Moore, questionable. That'll be a game time deal here in a few minutes. Jim, my early lean for this one would be an over. I don't think either defense stops the other. And basically, if you don't turn it over, you're going to score. But the Niners feel like a little bit of a machine, and the Bears, off of that emotional W against the Pack, I don't love anything with this. But if I had to do something, maybe it'd be the over.
Like the over, and as the week's gone on, I find myself, I think I like the Niners tonight.
Yeah, I lean that way.
The Bears have the division clinched.
Mm-hmm.
Seeding likely locked in as the 2 seed. Again, emotional win over the Packers. You're missing maybe 1, 2, 3 pass catchers. And San Francisco isn't just winning, Mike. They've won 5 in a row, all by double digits. They're fighting for the 1 seed. They're at home. And I think the line, you and I pay attention to this stuff. 3 was early in the week. We have no idea. 3.5 is the book saying, no, we're taking a Niners position here. We feel better about the Niners. So I'll take a cue from them. I like the Niners too.
Yeah, it'd probably be Niners and over. I'm not going to do nothing with it. I could dip into the over maybe. But yeah, that's kind of where it's at. And look, this is the thing, guys, this time of year, so many of these games, they don't mean nothing. Like next week, you got like 2 games. You're going to have the game nobody cares about, which is Tampa and Carolina. Wake me up, tell me who won. And then it's going to be Baltimore and Pittsburgh, which is the NFL's wet dream on Sunday night. Now that one I'm all in for. Mm-hmm. But the rest, like what really, there's not a whole lot else out there. All right, give them a word from Crocodile Cloth and we'll get you guys to your football.
As always, the preview is brought to you by Crocodile Cloth. It's your do-it-all solution for life's toughest messes. They've introduced Crocodile Cloth Grill, and that's what we wanted to talk about on the show. It's what you need if you love grilling. If you're going 365, you're going to want to pick this up. If not, stock up for when the weather gets nicer. These Crocodile Cloth grill cloths are the perfect addition to your game day tailgates, backyard grilling projects, all of it. Crocodile Cloths, grill cloths are made for grillers and the outdoor entertainers. They're tough cloths. They're big, 10-inch by 15-inch. They stay wet a long time, and they're going to power through sticky baked-on grease and food. Crocodile Cloth Grill can clean your cooler, your outdoor furniture, and everything that gets messy at the tailgate. So go to crocodilecloth.com/football show for a tailgate bundle and a free gift. As they say at Crocodile Cloth, go ahead, get messy.
And next week, before you guys tap out, it is the season finale of Jim and I's little passion project here. Week 18. We'll put a bow on the season. We may have a cookie jar. We may hand out some season awards, do some Super Bowl picks. So we appreciate you guys joining us. It's been a real success. This has been really good. And I don't know. We'll see what we're going to build out of it if the company doesn't screw it up. So we'll see what happens. Jim, I need you to get some rest. We need you healthy. We can't have any more people at work sick.
I know.
There's going to be no more. I'll be on the air tomorrow at 2. Jim will be up before the sun comes up. That's the football show. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you next week.